Good morning, traders. This is Joseph with Smart Money Traders. Today is Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. It's 9:46 on the East Coast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the stream. Before I go into my analysis, I want to go over the disclaimer real quick. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is risky. Make sure you know what you're doing because you may lose. And even when you do know what you're doing, the risk for loss is always present. Yesterday we did pretty okay, and then today here we're gonna look at this market and see what we're gonna get. Now, right now we're looking at LE on the top left and bottom right. It looks like they want to push higher, but not really fully convinced here because we've been having some. Friday we had a nice bullish day. Yesterday we had a bullish day. Today could be one of those days that they're trying to sell it here. So I think below VWAP here, that could be a place to try to go short, but it's not really ready yet. Because right now I'm looking at this here. We had some buying. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I'm looking at ZS. Let's look at LE here on the order flow. It looks like definitely it's setting up as if he wants to go lower. So right now, Geiger counter is all red, and the equities are selling off as well. So let's see what we can do here today. Yesterday we only traded ES because we kind of missed the move on LE yesterday because we started late. So right now, LE is trying to bounce higher. So we're not going to make a decision on LE yet. Looks like he wants to go higher now. Yes, on the top right, going lower. Let's see, yes, in the 30 minutes, as you can see, overnight, yes, was down. It's been going down since really 3 o'clock yesterday. We had definitely pushed down here. Now, ES is at a place where there's a lot of support here. So definitely be careful here going short, but it looks like that's what they want to do. If we look at YM and then Q, let's look at YM real quick here on the 30 minutes, bottom right. Everything is kind of going to the downside here. So yes, at the moment, let's look at YM here on the not the Unirenko, the median Renko with the Raptor system. As you can see, it's pretty orderly move down here. So would need a pullback. It's approaching support. Would need a pullback to act on YM. Same thing with ES. Nice little pullback here to really. So LE looks like it wants to push higher here. So indices at the moment, they look bearish. Live cattle looks bullish. Even though live cattle is approaching that area of resistance here. So definitely be careful with cattle here. It's only 9:51 lower. All right, let me pull the news for tomorrow and today. Today we got some New Zealand dollar news. If you trade Forex, that's something to keep in mind. At 6:45 tonight, we'll have unemployment rate and employment change quarter over quarter. That'll be something important tomorrow. 2 p.m. tomorrow, then 2:30. Definitely, this market will be jumping. And Thursday, as usual, we got unemployment claims at 8:30. And Friday, we don't have any actual U.S. news. And next week, Tuesday, will definitely be something to keep an eye on as well. Because we got, core CPI, month over month, CPI, month over month, CPI year over year. Those three things, those three items at 8:30 will definitely be keeping in mind on. Retail sales on Thursday. So we got definitely some news to keep an eye on, but the immediate one is tomorrow, FOMC. Again, I'm looking at LE here. LE looks like he wants to go higher, right? But at the same time, I'm thinking, are they trapping some people up there? Short, mid, long? Could there be some trapping here? Because if we go down to, this is a 10 tick, it would need to go down to 62.5 for me to try to short it, but we're above the VWAP. So that'll be kind of, yeah. And this is a pressing to the downside. LE here, we may take a stab at LE here on the short side because it's showing that could be some down movement here. For the indices, we need a pullback to go short. We can't go short where we are now. Okay, we did get to the 60. We did get to that. On the LE here would be a counter trend trade in the sense that, hey, this thing's been bullish, but at the same time, I think we can go over here. So we'll wait. Okay, the top, the high LE here. Okay, I mean ES is bouncing higher. I mean again, when you're down there like this, there was no way we're gonna sell you. Now we have a pullback to sell that pullback here. Also, we can try to sell LE here. Let's see what happened. Gonna reduce my risk to, oh, you know what? I was trading the one. That's what it was. There you go. There you go. So my stop really will be above this pivot here. Gonna reduce my risk here. Now I'm gonna keep the emergency stop on. If we go below VWAP, we'll be quick to move this to break even if we were to move away. Again, this is more like a counter trend trade from in the sense, but at least looking exhausted up here. I feel like the sellers are stepping in here. If we can go below 60, I think we might just move it to break even. Good morning, Noah. Thank you so much. Wishing you a good day as well. Let me know what you're trading and how things are going for you out there. The ES indices right now definitely want to go lower. So when we're right here, when we saw it, like, we gotta wait for a pullback. If you get it in the pullback here, 113, you definitely in profit. Again, if we can get close to the VWAP here on LE, we'll move to break even. So right now, it's a little fight going on here on LE. We got 4 ticks, 5 ticks. We can definitely reduce our risk here by we were risking 10. So we can definitely reduce it by, we're risking 21. Can reduce our risk by 10 over here. Looks like the indices are bouncing higher at the moment. Okay, ES is hitting resistance here. It's going lower. Yeah, this LE trade is more, it's a little more risky trade because, again, the market was going higher. We're trying to short it at a supply zone here. That looks like a supply zone, but this trade may not work out. Like any trade that you take, there's a possibility it's not gonna work out. So I'm gonna make this 11 ticks instead of the 21. So if it goes up the entire course, it'll be about half of original risk. Let's look at the Renko here for ES. Definitely looks like he wants to go higher. Yeah, ES looks like they wants to go higher now. If you're trading NQ, let's see what NQ is doing. NQ is kind of pointing higher at the moment as well. The cumulative delta on LE is negative because we started at positive, went to negative. Let's wait and see what happens here on LE. Now, right now, ES is definitely in the resistance zone. It's hitting the RTH VWAP. Let's see where we are here compared to the Globex VWAP. Globex VWAP is a little higher at 29. But they may not make it there at 29. Definitely trying to push lower here with all this. Some selling going on here. I really should give this maybe 4 more ticks on here. Technically, the high on this is 10. Yeah, I'll give it, let me see, is it 10? Yeah, the high on this previous high is 10. So we'll give it a couple more ticks here. Give this the proper stop. Yeah, ES is climbing higher. Featuring ES definitely. You got long at this bottom here at 12. You definitely in the money here. So see what LE is gonna do here if we're gonna get a negative bond there. In the median Renko right here. That would be great. If we can get that, that would be a sign here we could be reversing here to the downside. And Q here at the bottom, 29, maybe 829 here. You could definitely try to go long. The target to the VWAP at 60. Yeah. If we go long 829 here, definitely be a break even at the moment. Again, welcome to the stream. This is Joseph with Smart Money Traders. Basically, we went short on LE here because, again, on the big picture, this has been going higher. Once we think we gap down here, we close the gap, and then we're approaching those levels. And we're seeing the order flow here. The sellers are stepping in. Cumulative delta that's negative. So we have a chance here to push a little lower. Today could be one of those reversal day. We know taking this trade in this context is a counter trend trade, but it's a little more risky. We reduce our risk a little bit. Normally we risk 21 ticks. Right now we're risking, I believe, 25. That's 10 ticks, about 13, I believe. Is it? Yeah, I know it's less than 21. Let me check here. With the ruler, 15 ticks. So instead of the 21, the normal 21 with the 15 at the moment. Just above this swing here. So we're up at some point at 4 ticks, 4 or 5 ticks. Now we're down a call 3 ticks. So trading LE, we definitely need to be patient because it's gonna move sometime at a snail pace. But here we're looking at the top right. Yes, it's going higher. It's hitting. Remember, we mentioned 29 was gonna be some kind of resistance on ES because we got the VWAP there, and that's what we see happening here. This market's been selling off. If we're looking at ES on the 30 minutes on the bottom right here, I'm gonna put that on. You can see this market's been going down all night long, hitting the support zone. Now it's bouncing higher. So we're seeing some selling on LE right now, which is good news for us. I think below 213.60, that would be a good place to start reducing our risk. We're definitely a resistance zone. It's a matter of, okay, if the resistance is going to give way or it's not going to give way. You know, is it going to hold or is it going to be broken? So that's the only question. Only time will allow us to know that for sure. That's why trading on the right side of the right edge, that's what it's all about, you know, because a lot of times people make analysis based on things that's already passed. So if I could just trade from the middle of the chart, you know, all of us would be billionaires because we would know already what's going to happen, but we don't know what's going to happen here. We just based on analysis what's already happened, what the patterns are usually, but that doesn't mean today is going to follow that. All right, still a little push down here. Let's see if we're going to get, again, past the VWAP here. That'd be interesting to see what it does. Yeah, this bar here actually was very bearish when I think about it, because 49% of this volume was the delta, you know. So when you see that the delta here was 1960, it's negative 60, which is the difference between buyers and sellers, and 49% of that was 49% of the total volume, you know. So that just tells me the sellers are really getting aggressive here. So when you look at the sell volume was 103. The buy volume was 35. So meaning here we're seeing some intention really to push this market down. Now, will they be successful? You know, only time will tell. For about 7 ticks right now, 6 ticks, couple more ticks here, we'll move to break even, because again, the circumstances are. This is a break. This is okay. Thank you for the heads up, Noah. So LE's at yesterday close, which was 213.60. On the Unorenco, if we get a negative positive bar here, it'll be getting to 213.82 half. So that's where we probably could move our stop, maybe a couple of ticks above that, you know. Gonna completely reduce our risk. So of risking 15 that we're risking right now, we can make it at 85, which would be 3 ticks, or 87 half, which should be 4 ticks. So we completely reduce our risk here. Let's see if we can get, well, ES definitely moving higher. The advanced decline is moving higher here. We got about 5 ticks here on LE. Once again, if we can get below the bar here at 55, if we get to 50, we'll probably move it down to break even. Okay, so we're risking only 4 ticks over here. It's a big difference between losing 4 ticks and 20. We will. 4 tick loss is much better. I don't know. Hey, I would rather lose 4 ticks than 21. And if they come back and tag us out here, more power to them. Yes, that's a big candle on the 30 minutes here. 30 minutes still, it hasn't even closed yet, but you can see that kind of engulfs everything for the last almost 6 hours, you know. Well, not 6 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about 5, 6 hours. It's a big bullish candle here. Of course, ES, if we were to go long on ES after this trade concludes, we would need a pullback. You know, you always want to trade on the pullback. You don't want to be chasing this here. And also, this is a resistance area. This is a really hard resistance area. This was support at 2 a.m. this morning. It's resistance. Is to move this. Give it one more tick here at 90. Okay, I got 387. May tag us out here for a loss, which would be minimal compared to where we are at the beginning. It'd be interesting to see if that one tick would make the difference. So when I look my order flow chart with the volume profile, 87.5 was more like should be rejected at 87.5, which what's happening right now for the moment. That's why I give it the one tick. And sometimes that's all it takes. One tick will make a big difference between a winner or loser or a break-even trade. Let's see if they're rejecting here for good, or is it something temporary. And also we're approaching 1030, yes, meaning the initial balance will be formed here within these two candles. That's a pretty big range, and we're at the top of the initial balance here. So we definitely could see a fade to the downside, especially after everything was going down. Pre-market, even when the market opened, we had a negative bar. We went higher, fed some buyers here, but I think we may see definitely it's due for a pullback anyway for ES. But looking at LE here, down a tick, we're risking 5. So we're just sticking with the plan here. I mean, 57.5 is definitely support. We're hoping that it breaks that support, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Let's see, can we get lower here? That is the part of trading. Sometimes that can frustrate you. You can be right in direction, but the timing could have been off. Obviously, if we get taken out here, we're not going to try to trade LE anymore. Because LE, it's one of those things, right? We got taken out. It's one of those things that when you get, it's 10:29. It's still early. We could try another LE trade. At the moment, the answer to that would be a no. Again, we knew this was a counter trend trade. We're just sort of trying to look and see if we can get a few ticks on now. Now, in hindsight, you may say, yeah, we were up 7 ticks. Should have moved to break even. All that is in hindsight, and we really don't know. We wanted to make sure that we follow a plan, which is let's get below a certain level, then we can move to break even. All right. With that said, let 10:30 happen here and see how the market react. Now it's exactly 10:30, so let's see if we can fade or a continuation here to the upside. Yes. So it looks like we're pushing higher now for ES. Now we'll get to the next resistance on LE here, and we're bouncing lower. We're shooting lower here. Looks like the indices are going lower. I mean, that's to be expected. We're at the top of the initial balance, so trying to sell them there wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, ES definitely looks like he wants to go lower here, I believe. Okay. ES, we may try to go short here on a negative bar. Let's see what happens. The Geiger counter is moving toward the red here on ES. We get a positive bar here. We go to 45. Order will cancel automatically. Okay. And LE here looks like he wants to go higher. I think this is what the direction here today is for LE, which I kind of knew that was a bullish day. They wanted to do a bullish day above the cloud, but shorted here. Again, there was a counter trend trade. Good thing we only lost 5 ticks on this, so which is fine. But I think move higher there than 214, 12.5. LE should be going higher. Today, already moved 53 ticks for now. Yesterday was a big range for LE. The average range on the last 5 days has been 101 ticks. So I think there's still more room here to the upside. We can get to 1480. I think we can get there. So all they got canceled because ES going higher. But again, this is, to me, too expensive here. We should definitely see a pullback, but we may not see a pullback on ES. So when you look at the 30 minutes, that's a big candle up there. So I think we're going to try to sell here again and see what happens, but they're moving higher. So that's why having the stop limit sometimes is a lifesaver, because you sidestep some losses, which is the number one thing in trading. It's not so much, okay, let me catch every winner, but if I can avoid as many losers as I can, that's a key. Avoid as many losers as you can. Yeah, so yeah, on early I had a 5-tick loss. Yeah, I had a 5-tick loss on. Deep in the money is relative because I was only up at 1.7 ticks, so I'd like to get it past 10 ticks, but it never did. Thinking about the fact that I was risking 21 ticks on early at the beginning, then we ended up losing. We ended up losing 5. That's not. To me, that's not. No, I was only up 7 ticks. I was trading 3 contracts. So right now, as you can see, ES is taking off. It's taking off without us. But ES is taking off. YM is not doing the same. And I guess NQ is doing the same. But YM is definitely lagging right now as far as going higher. They say if you cannot beat them, you join them. But could this be another way they go up there? And I would put the 3-minute insight here. Because what they did here, they rejected this level before from 50 to all the way to 42, which is about at least 8 points there. Now they're testing this level again. Now the advanced decline is going higher, which is a sign that I'm looking at the 1-minute advanced decline. If we can get a negative on the advanced decline here, that could say, hey, we may be going lower here, but until then, definitely want to stay away from selling at the moment, or even buying too, because again, we extended here on the ES, very extended. So to me, it'd be more like to sell here. Or we would need a nice pullback to go along. Because normally you would want to see a pullback toward the middle of this big candle, but the only pullback they gave us here, they gave us maybe like a 4 points pullback. Yeah, so we may be going higher here. Some decline is getting a little negative here, so we can see some selling here. There's a little bit of selling. There's a selling. There's a pullback to go higher here. Okay. You can see the Geiger counter is going away from the red, going to the green here. Definitely sell here would have been nice, but again, hindsight. Oh yeah, I need to change my title here. Pushing lower here, but maybe if we bounce here, can we go higher? Looks like we're going lower here. So here we could be bouncing here. Let's see. If we go do a buy up here, we're probably going to be having a 3-point stop instead of the regular 5. Okay. We got maybe 40. There you go. We're moving a little higher here. 42. Place that we'll move it up to. If they move higher here, then hopefully we get to a first target. If not, they're going to attack us out for a 4-point loss. Well, doesn't look too good at the moment. We go up 6 ticks. I think we can definitely move here to 42. Should move to 42 here. There you go. First target got hit. We're trailing our stop here. Let's see. Definitely. Let's see if we can get to the next, to the previous high here. We're trailing our stop higher here automatically with the ATM. Remember, our original target was at 49, so we wouldn't get to it anyway. So we got. So basically, right now we dollar on month perspective, we got a little better than break even. So got a loss on LE, which we made back here. And then a few more dollars on top. Can we get back to 47 here for an entry? Let's see. We're right at the initial balance high here, so should definitely see a fight. Could be a down move from here. Maybe not. Gonna in flux right now. Yeah, today is definitely looks like at the moment could be a tough day trading here. I think it down. Right here we're gonna put a sell stop here. If we get a positive bar, you're gonna get canceled. Q. Trying to go higher, so YM is really not showing its hand at all. YM is just ranging here between 191 and 118 now, because the kind of movement we're having here. Look at that candle here. That candle tells me, hey, we want to go lower. That could be a retest of those highs on ES, but we'll have to wait and see here. All right, let's keep an eye on LE here, what LE is doing. Oh, LE is selling off a little bit. Kind of where we sold it earlier. We sold it here. It's kind of back to where we sold it. Looks like ES wants to go higher. Is NQ doing the same thing? Yeah, NQ's pushing higher to a little bit. That could be a day that we go and trade soybeans. Soybeans is another thing that we trade. Put that in a different tab here. Into clear. Yeah, ES looks like she wants to push higher still here. We don't want to be stepping in front of this LZB on the top left here. We're going to put it on soybeans. Soybeans actually, so sometimes can be a little bit slower than, yeah, soybeans looks like he wants to go lower too. 930, we see a push down here. Yeah, I think we may be going lower here. Looking at ES here, it's definitely tempting to short ES right here, but I think we're gonna stay away from now. All right, buying ES here is a little too high for me, and selling it is a little too risky because we may make a new high here, I think. So maybe a deeper pullback here. You know, if we get a deeper pullback, we may try to go long on ES. So it'll be 50.5 an entry here. And it's just high. 49 could be an entry short, but you know, 3-tick stop. 3-point stop, 12-tick stop. But still, we may get one over here if we go short here. It's 11 o'clock, so another 30 minutes here, we're probably gonna see if we can shut down the stream. Okay, we're going lower here on ES. What is it? It's a little bit lower. There you go. Kind of ranging here. Now the question we've got to ask ourselves, okay, which side is going to get hurt more? If they move higher, the bulls, they've been in control for the last hour and a half almost. So the side that's going to be getting hurt more here, I think, is the bulls, because I think some people got long up here too. So let's look at the other. The down direction would be my preference here. Okay, we're moving down. Get a pullback that doesn't make it no high here. We may try to engage short. Because, hey, you could have gotten at 49. Yes, true. But in hindsight, everything looks good. In hindsight, everything looks good here. Yeah, exactly. This time is definitely not a time for longs either. With London closing in about 30 minutes, it's definitely not a good time to go long anyway. See if we can get a pullback here and then get lower. Now what we're looking for here is possibly a pullback. Let's see if we can go back to maybe 47, 48 and then turn around. And also when we see that YM wasn't participating in NQ's already selling off. Could be an indication here we're going lower. If I get short here at 43.5, my stop would be at 48.75. I think I'd like to see a bigger pullback here and keep going higher. All right, let's see. We got short here. Well, may not be good. May not be good enough here. Timing. Let's really give it another 52.5. Because we up a little bit, I'm gonna give it a couple more ticks here. Well, not looking too good. Okay. Alright, is this the push down that we want? Okay. We're seeing some selling here. I'll move down here. We're at 40. What's our entry here? 45.25. 45.50. Oh boy. This is not, I think win, lose, or draw here. We're gonna get off the stream. There's this kind of action here due to the best trading. It's a little back and forth here. I hope is that the sellers can push it low enough here to at least move it to break even. If an emergency stop at 52 get hit, that'll be it for us. So we're above 50, which is a number that's gonna attract some action here. You know, we hit 50. I think we may not survive this. Stop loss may not survive here. Okay, right now it's the highest we're willing to put a stop here. If they make a new high, more power to them, and we will be. Yes, definitely. Yeah, we got taken out. Here. Right, look at this little buying going here. Yeah, definitely could have closed it before, but in hindsight, everything looks good. With that said, we're gonna end this stream. Thank you for watching, and definitely, ouch as it is, because they definitely push it way higher here. Good thing we had a stop in place, but all in all, today is gonna be a losing day, and we're gonna have those sometime. Okay, all right. So that's it. Here we're gonna at least go lower. All right, that's trading for you. Anyway, I hope you guys did better than I did. Have a good one. God bless. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. God willing. Bye-bye.